This was a clever incision by the witness. A multi-front attack. Sabotage us, glean knowledge, and annihilate any trace of advantage. Extrasolar colonies. Ages ago, Saint and I thought we'd leave the city once we'd made it safe. We'd explore the universe.
Alright, what's going on everyone? It's Rody and welcome back to the channel. What you just saw prior to this was how I now can solo 3-phase the chicken boss at the end of the dungeon. And if you've been following my streams, if you saw the other video I posted where I actually did solo the dungeon from the Harpy boss, actually I have now solo flawlessed it. Because as you can probably see, if you know what to look for, I know some people who watch this channel don't necessarily play Destiny, but this is the emblem you get for doing a solo flawless of that dungeon. So I did end up doing it. I don't have a recording of that, unfortunately, because I honestly wasn't expecting it. I just jumped on at reset, was like, I'm just going to go into this solo, because at least I know I can do it solo, and ended up solo flawlessing it. So, you know, kind of bad on my part. I should just be recording anyway, but whatever. But I wanted to go through the build just quickly because not only is this a very beginner friendly build, it's also a build you will be able to use in any season, because especially with the reworks to the mods and stuff, not even needing a element with them, a lot of the mods you're going to see are solar mods in here, but come Lightfall, that's not going to matter. So you can literally just run these mods however you want. And obviously with this comes a bit of, my armor might be different than yours. I might have different stats than yours. It's whatever. You obviously know the playstyle you like to do and how you can do things with your armor. So this won't go into detail about stats, but specifically like the mods I like to use. Because I've gotten to the point where unless I make a stupid mistake, I don't die in this boss fight. Whereas when I first started, I was still trying to figure all that out. So I think I have a pretty good hold on it. And again, this will even be good after this season, and I'll go into detail why in a minute. But we're going to start off with, the subclass. You have free reign here, honestly. I mean, whatever you want to do, do it. You don't have to run what I'm running here. The only two things I feel are necessary are fusion grenades, because we are running Starfire Protocol, which gives you 2 fusion grenades. So I think that's a given. Again, if you are doing this, I'm assuming you already know that that's what this does. So fusion grenades, a must. And this right here, Phoenix Dive, I have started using this just even in general play, but I started really using it when I was really trying to start soloing this boss. And when I tell you that this is a great thing, because a healing rift, for example, it will, sorry if you guys heard my phone, it will, give you that overshield. It'll heal you, but you have to take the time, place it down, go through the animation. You have to be on the ground to do it. With Phoenix Dive, if I get red screened from the Minotaur, for example, I can just Phoenix Dive while I'm in the air and I get my full health back. I don't get an overshield, but I get full health, which in this fight is actually more or less enough, because you get into some sticky situations with the Harpies and the Minotaur, but once you learn the arena, the boss isn't that much of an issue. And there's other mods we're going to go over that will also alleviate how hard the boss will hit you. So in my personal opinion, Phoenix Dive is the thing to use here, just because it's a nice quick activation and it's just right there. You go down to the ground, you get your health back, and you run away. You shoot a Witherhoard on the ground, what have you, and you're done. But this is to each their own. This is just what I have really found to work for me. And like I said, the rest, kind of do what you want. Moving on to the weapons now. Witherhoard here, I feel like this is a must for this fight because, like I said, this can carry over into any season. So the continuous tick damage with Witherhoard, mixed with Starfire Protocol, you're just constantly getting your grenade back because of that constant damage, and that's what the perk does on Starfire Protocol. You just keep getting grenade energy as you do constant damage, which is what Witherhoard does. So you shoot this 2-3 times within that boss fight, you're just going to keep having constant grenades, which is what you want for a later thing we're going to go over. But the grenades also do massive damage to this boss because I don't know if it's coded that way or whatever, but abilities just do a lot of damage to this boss. So it is a double win. For your secondary, run whatever the heck you want. I use funnel web just because it's void, and I just like SMGs. There's void shielded minotaurs. I just find it easier. But you can use a hand cannon. You can use the Ikelos SMG. You can use a waveframe grenade launcher. You can use the Callus mini tool. Whatever makes you comfortable, you can use in this slot. Again, I use funnel web, just because void shields, it's a solid SMG, to each their own. In this right here, you also do have a little bit of play with your heavy. This is just one that I have found works incredibly well. And it's the Bump in the Night from Season of the... Don't remember what it's called, but the Callus themed season. And I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on it. But regardless, you can craft this thing. As you can see, I have mine crafted. I don't even have enhanced perks on this because I didn't even want them. But obviously, you're going to want something like Vorpal or Frenzy or even Chill Clip on this thing is really good. But I just run Vorpal so that way I don't have to worry about anything. I just know as soon as that rocket hits, it's doing increased damage. Simple as that. And it works very well. Now, this one is the important one. And this is where I say you can have some play. Because Demolitionist is the perk to have on a rocket launcher for this fight. Because if you don't know what Demolitionist does, obviously you can read it right there. But basically, how I said I shoot the Wither Horde and I'm getting constant tick damage, and it's refilling my grenades, there's a little bit of a cooldown on this perk, but when I throw a grenade, it automatically reloads the rocket launcher. So I can throw a grenade. It might not reload it right away. I can throw another grenade because Wither Horde's still ticking the boss. And that second grenade will proc Demolitionist, and it loads the rocket into my rocket launcher without even having to go through the animation. So this, to me, is a heck of a perk to have on this for the obvious reason like I just said. And then Impact Casing, exactly what it says it does. It does increase damage on direct hits, which you are direct hitting this boss. So, obvious thing to have. And then I use Volatile Launch just because I like Volatile Launch. Again, to each their own. Whatever. And you don't have to use Bump in the Night. You can use whatever rockets you have. Again, I recommend this kind of perk combo or any of those perk combos I said, like Demo Frenzy, Demo Chill Clip, Demo Vorpal. If you have something else with this kind of roll, throw a boss spec on it, you're good to go. Now, the armor is where we get, like I said, a little bit different because my armor might be spec'd stats-wise a little different than yours. But at the end of the day, we're just going to focus on the regular mods. I'm not going to go over my recovery mods or my, resilience mods or anything like that. So on my helmet, I run rocket launcher ammo finder, obviously, so I can find more ammo for my heavy rocket. Ashes to assets, I had never started using this until I did this fight. And let me tell you, the amount of grenades that you do get from this is ridiculous. As you guys saw, I have my super back before the next damage phase, and my intellect isn't even that high. So this is a really good one to run. And again, come Lightfall, this won't even be tied to solar. You can run this on whatever you want. And then another solar one is Well of Ordnance, where picking up a solar elemental well, which I will go over in a second why this is good, will give me grenade energy. So basically, even if I'm not damaging a boss with Wither Horde or enemies with Wither Horde, if I throw a grenade at something and I make the well, then I pick that up, I get some grenade energy back. So it's basically kickstarting the grenade energy regen, even if I'm not using something like Wither Horde or shooting something per se, you know what I mean? It's really nice just to have that little bit of extra help. Not necessary, you could run Bountiful Wells if you so wish, but I just think this is fine. And then on my arms, I run Fastball just for the grenade throw distance because obviously I'm throwing a lot of grenades. This one you can kind of plug and play. If you don't have to run high recovery like I do, because this one was struggling a little bit, you could put a rocket launcher loader on here. You could put whatever you want. Again, I just use Fastball because it's what I had the root for. And then Elemental Ordnance, where you throw a grenade and you kill an enemy with it, it will spawn a well that matches your subclass. And we are obviously on Solar for Well of Radiance. So that's where that other mod, Well of Ordnance, comes in, that when I throw the grenade and it kills them, It makes solar wells. I pick them up. I get some grenade energy back. So going hand in hand there. On my chess piece, we have the Starfire Protocol. I already went over this, what it does. You shoot the Wither Horde, for example, you're damaging the boss continually. It'll keep giving you fusion grenade energy, and you get 2 of them. So for me, with this one, what I like to do is I run the Void Resistance, so that way the boss doesn't hit as hard. And I think the Minotaurs do Void as well. I'm not entirely sure, but I know for a fact the boss does. So this helps with that. And then Concussive Dampener for AoE. If I get stomped by the Hydra or I get stomped by the boss, it's not going to hurt as hard. So these are just two really good things to run. And then Melee Wellmaker, you can swap this out for whatever you want. But the whole point of this was I was trying to not go with any charge with light damage build, like nothing that does extra damage. And I wasn't trying to do Font of Might for this whole thing. So that way it's very, like I said, beginner accessible. So Melee Wellmaker, I just put this on for like the times where I don't have a grenade and I have my melee. I can just throw out the melee, and if I kill something, I get a well. And then I can maybe get my grenade back from that. You know what I mean? Just a kind of last resort kind of thing, because I didn't know what else to put. You can play around with that, like I said. My boots, I have Rocket Launcher Scavenger, obviously for when I pick up more heavy ammo, I get more from that. And then Well of Life, this is another good one because we're making those solar wells. If I melee something or if I throw a grenade, I get that solar well, I get the grenade energy, and then I also get some healing. So, this mixed with that Phoenix Dive, if I don't have my class ability, but I can hit a grenade, it's really nice. I get that healing, So really, really good to have. And then on my class item, this is where things can be changed up a lot, depending when you're watching this, because weaken clear, obviously because I'm using Wither Horde, I am weakening the boss, but come next season, this won't be around. So, this, again, Wither Horde has multi-purpose right now because I'm weakening the boss, but at the same time, I'm doing that constant tick damage for my Phoenix Protocol. Even when this mod goes away, you can use Wither Horde because it'll still give you that constant tick damage. It just won't give you that weaken effect. And then Solo Operative, this is just purely because you get that extra 15% for being solo. Again, when this goes away, you don't need to worry about it. You can run whatever you want. But I'm using it obviously right now because I can. Now, will you be able to 3-phase this with this build come Lightfall? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to go with a no. But right now, you can. And for anyone who's trying to, again, jump into this, getting it done in as little phases as possible is going to be your best friend because you won't have to worry about extending another phase and possibly dying. So for me, I just do all this right now because, like I said, less damage phases for me to worry about. So these 2 mods, again, when they go away, run whatever you want. Run whatever you feel comfortable with. But for right now, this is what I'm running. And when the season ends, I'm still going to run this same build, and we'll see what I put in here. I might run like a recovery mod, for example. Something like that. But that's really it for the build, guys. I mean, again, really beginner friendly, and you can see my stats aren't anything fantastic. I have the 10 resilience, but I mean, I think anyone who plays a lot of PvE does, so I think that's a given. But, everything else, again, the Ashes to Assets, I only have 3 intellect, guys. So I'm not getting my super back at all. Like, right there, 6 minutes to get my super back is what it says. But with Ashes to Assets, I get it back in like a minute. So that just goes to show you how strong this build synergizes with each other. And I just really wanted to make this so that way you guys could see the progression that not only I made, but what you guys can make if you run something similar to this, or you could even feel inclined to copy this exactly. It is whatever you want to do. But I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys want me to make more videos like this where I kind of break down simplistic ways to do things or beginner ways to do things, because I am not the greatest at this game, obviously, I'm never going to claim to be. So a lot of the things I'm going to do are going to be very catered to, entry level, maybe a little bit advanced here and there, but it's mostly what this is going to be like. So if these are things that you guys like, let me know. I can definitely do more of them as things come up. But I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been Rody, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.